Diplomatic problem solving. A leader from a nation, country, part of planet Earth now, and another diplomat from a government different than a previous spoken word now. Here on Capitol Hill in Seattle, two leaders would have to build a bunker underground to avoid the paranoia, misdirection, and confusion from anarchists and Antifa and Black Lives Matter and the community de-escalation teams, psychologists and social workers, psychiatrists and doctors and nurses and surgeons on their way to hospitals next to a coffee shop with a broken window, from a rioter and a protester who lives next door, who owns a condominium a few streets away now, with 13 other of their comrade brothers who have a Soviet image on their door and a communist China red color on their walls now. They patrol, they decide, they graffiti, and they make business owners scared to sell groceries, work to feed their families, and cause veterans to hide all their flags of the United States of America they carried to Iraq and the Gulf War, Iran and Korea, and world wars fought to not be dominated, restricted, and told to shut up and be silent and quiet in fear and terror. On Capitol Hill in Seattle, Washington, they support black clothing, 3 letters, 3 words, and 1 word with letters. And they stand next to the homosexual, they stand aside a transgender human, and they say all of those letters, including equality, have completely removed racism from a problem in their part of the city where they set fires, cause pollution in a state, in a country with a governor who says environmental climate change, he will solve mathematically now. He locks down a city. They go out and break businesses. And Google and Microsoft start remote work and have less car usage and transportation problems now. There's so many parts to a process in Seattle, Washington, with Capitol Hill included, with a mayor, a governor, and a city council, similar to a tribal entity government system, demanding higher taxes and free services and application reviews to stop the homeless from pooping on their doorsteps of their hundreds of thousands of dollars of houses they own from degrees they received in prestigious universities and stories about how they fled and arrived here in the USA and got more scared than where they ran from and left to get right here now to have a social communist different United States of America with no jurisdictions in law enforcement and only rules, restrictions, control, and power. Two world leaders, Russia, visiting the Russian part of Seattle where the anarchists flourish and destroy with violence and terrorism. And a leader from the government of the United States of America from a place like Texas probably would need Air Force One to fly them over the land they want to talk about and discuss peace with now, for risk of danger on a planet Earth, land, and humans they serve to protect. They are elected to assist now. There wouldn't be enough Secret Service. There wouldn't be enough military soldiers from Moscow to stop the onslaught of yelling and screaming and putrid smelling explosives they'd throw for attention and awareness now. Inappropriate language and letters and sentences they've already gotten approved by their government and funded with those dollars and cents of those technology worker families. Who don't take their kids to the park down the street anymore. They wait for silence and quiet and move quickly to avoid a pedophile carrying alcohol and an overgrown stomach. Casually enjoying their afternoon next to preschool children and babies in strollers with moms on their cell phones. Now, the two examples, diplomat and leader of a different country in a separate part of Earth, wouldn't be able to talk about less nuclear weapons. They wouldn't be able to talk about what they're going to have for dinner. They'd have to eat vegan and vegetarian. They'd have to wear all black. They'd have to carry shields. They'd have to disavow civilization and proclaim their allegiance to some prostitute pimp and some machine gun carrying man dressed in red, alongside their lipstick wearing feminist beauty queen who holds their hands and cooks their food in their kitchens from bags and cans. and take out bags from fast food restaurants, they are allowed to visit now. Capitol Hill in Seattle, Washington State could be any location on any part of the globe, spinning around in some rich Google office or some Microsoft cubicle $150,000 bonus paying software updating engineers area now. Amazon sells more psychology books and more psychiatry manuals than a university could rent in the 1900s. More examples of professors' research and documentation and writings than got published in the 1800s. All of the words involved, all of the letters said aloud with freedom for those who dress appropriately and shut up when they're told by their gang cartel leader now. And they use the warfare of psychology and psychiatry, neuroscience and left brain and right brain and neurolinguistics and behavior with psychology and biopsychology and psycholinguistics to need only those few graffitied letters from that can destroying our ozone for all humanity. Within reasonable amounts, Governor Jay Inslee and Mayor Durkin have written about in memorandums and postings on their internet websites. With their carbon neutral footprint now. When two leaders of two nations in two countries in two parts of the world, different from their systems of government, they risk similar conditions and perilous danger. When someone like Ms. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton speaks to Mr. Vladimir Putin, sitting down in a chair and has mysterious hand gestures and her vision out where the drug dealers tell drug addicts downtown in Seattle their self has gone and they are free. They are conscious and have no brain anymore. And steal and find more money to buy more of their chemicals and substances and fentanyl to finally have a break and arrest. From their loss of energy now.